Have you ever felt like your paycheck disappears the moment it hits your account? Even though you swear you're being responsible with money, you're not alone. Most of us were never really taught how to take control of our cash flow. And that's why so many of us keep losing money out the back door without even realizing it. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to close that back door so you can finally keep more of what you earn, even if budgeting has never worked for you. Coming up, I'm going to walk you through 3 simple, powerful shifts that'll help you finally take control of your cash flow without feeling like you're trapped in a spreadsheet or constantly giving things up. You'll learn the easiest way to start, how to stay consistent, and what to do if you've fallen off track. Because no, you're not doomed. You can always reset and rebuild momentum. Now, when people think of the word budget, they almost think of sacrifice. They think of cutting out everything fun. No dinners out, no small treats, no joy. But the truth is, budgeting fails for most people because we were never taught that it's not about restriction. It's about communication, awareness, and planning. Let me tell you what I saw growing up. Every payday, my mom would sit at the kitchen table with her notepad and pen, writing down numbers, adding up the bills, making sure everything could get paid. But she was always doing it alone. She and my dad never really sat down to talk about money. She carried that stress really quietly, feeling like there was never enough. While dad, who never seemed worried about money, could have taken a bit of that load just by having a real conversation with her. Now, instead, she handled the numbers. He handled the calm. And what got lost in between was communication. That's the piece most of us never learned. We saw money as something to manage privately, not something to plan together. And I carried that into adulthood, writing down what I spent, doing the math, but never actually planning what I wanted to spend on. Budgeting felt like punishment. But here's what I eventually learned. Budgeting isn't just about writing things down. It's about deciding ahead of time what you want your money to do for you. And when you start thinking that way, budgeting stops feeling like a cage and starts feeling like a map. One that actually leads somewhere. And as Gen Xers, we get to learn from those mistakes and then pass that knowledge on to our kids. We can start having honest talks about money early on, asking them questions like, what would you do if you had $50 right now? Or what's something you'd save for? Because when kids feel free to talk about money, they grow up knowing how to communicate about it with their future partners too. Hey, if you're liking this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss any video at all going forward. Real change usually starts with one simple thing, looking at your current numbers, because the truth is the numbers are rarely what you think they are. Imagine your money as water in a bucket. You keep pouring more in and that's your income, but no matter how much you add, it never stays full. That's because there are tiny holes leaking out the bottom. Those holes are your unused subscriptions, impulse buys, and forgotten automatic payments. Until you notice those leaks, you'll always feel broke, no matter how much you earn. So let's fix that. Step 1, redefine what budgeting really means. Instead of thinking about budgeting as sacrifice, start thinking of it as direction. You're not cutting things out, you're giving your money a job. Traditional budgeting is about tracking the past, what you already spent. Real cash flow management is about intention, deciding ahead of time what you'll do next. Picture it this way. On one side of the screen, old budget, crossed out lattes, long receipt rolls, stressed expression. On the other, cash flow plan, calm face, planner, open, even a coffee you actually budgeted for. That's the difference. And here's something fun you can do right now. Rename your budget. Call it something that feels lighter. Maybe my cash flow map or my money plan. Whatever helps you feel like you're the one in charge, not the one being controlled. Because once you stop thinking of it as punishment, you start seeing it as permission. Permission to spend on what truly matters. Know where the money's actually going. Step 2, you can't change what you don't measure, but you don't need to track every coffee to figure this out. Okay, start simple. Let's look at 3 big categories. The essentials, things you need to live: rent, groceries, transportation. Wants, things that bring you joy or comfort. Leaks, money leaving without intention, that unused gym membership, those old app subscriptions, those I'll cancel later trials. I once worked with a client who swore she didn't spend much. When we sat down, we actually realized almost $400 a month was going to forgotten subscriptions and, oh, it's just $10 takeout. That's not judgment. That's awareness. Your first step isn't to cut. It's to see. Once you see it, you can steer it. Think of it like pouring that water again, but this time into 3 clear cups labeled needs, wants, and leaks. You'll see instantly where your money's flowing and where you need to patch the holes. That's how you close the back door. Once you can see the leaks, the next step is patching them, not by cutting everything, but by giving your dollars a job. Step 3, give your dollar a job. The secret isn't saving more, it's assigning purpose to every dollar before it disappears. Create mini money buckets. They can be envelopes, jars, or separate e-transfers. It doesn't matter how fancy the system is. What matters is that it's intentional. And here's an easy setup. 1 for fixed expenses, 1 for your debt freedom fund, and 1 for your future savings. If your money doesn't have a job, it'll find one on its own, usually in your Amazon cart. One of my clients started tiny, $25 a week into a separate future me account. At first, she thought it was pointless. A few months later, she looked at that balance and said, for once, I feel like I'm the one steering the ship. That's the feeling we're after. Once every dollar knows where to go, your job gets a lot easier. All you have to do is keep the flow steady. Step 4, build consistency through habits, not hustle. Systems beat willpower every single time. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to process. Set reminders in your phone. Create banking alerts. Automate transfers where you can. And set up a recurring money check-in. 10 minutes weekly or 1 hour monthly, whatever fits your life. Pour yourself a coffee, look at your numbers, and ask, is my money still doing what I told it to? If you have a partner, make it a money date. You'd be amazed how much clarity comes from just simply sitting down together. Consistency doesn't come from motivation. It comes from structure, from having a rhythm that works in your real life. And even if you fall off, because you will, that's not failure. It's feedback. Step 5, what to do when you fall off track. Missing the mark doesn't mean starting over. It means starting again. When you hit a rough patch, pause and ask, what threw me off? A surprise expense or a pattern? If it's a surprise, adjust and move on. If it's a pattern, like always overspending on weekends, that's your new focus. Adjust the plan. Don't abandon it. Give yourself credit for noticing what didn't work. That's progress. I had a client who completely stopped budgeting after 1 bad month. She said, I blew it. When she came back, she realized it wasn't failure. It was a lesson. Budgeting isn't a one-time project. It's a lifelong conversation with yourself. Here's a bonus thought. Sometimes those money leaks come from emotions, not numbers. We buy relief or escape or comfort after a long week. Before you spend, take a 10-second pause and ask, am I buying relief or something I truly value? That one question can save you hundreds and a lot of regret. Once you start seeing it that way, the shame disappears and the consistency grows. Now that you've learned how to take control of your cash flow, even if budgeting's never worked for you, there's something else that can either help you stay consistent or completely derail your progress if you don't plan for it. And that's the financial tug of war so many of us Gen Xers face, helping our aging parents while still supporting our kids. You can have the best cash flow system in the world, but if you're constantly pulled in 2 directions, that flow starts to dry up fast. So before that happens, watch my next video, Caught Between Kids and Parents, How to Save Yourself Financially. In that one, I'll show you how to keep your money plan strong, even when your family depends on you, and how to protect your financial future without feeling guilty. You'll find it right here on screen and link below. So go watch that next, and I'll see you there.